This is a Clouds weather alert.
Good late Tuesday, early Wednesday. Meteorologist Casey Cloud here in the Weather Center right now, giving you a look at kind of a regional view per se. You do see a tornado watch remaining there as we get toward parts of Arkansas, but really not indicative of what we had earlier on here across the country. Also, a little bit of one of them moved the view up toward Wisconsin. You can see that a little bit better as I zoom on in. There are still a couple severe thunderstorm warnings in that area, but again, just a crazy situation toward Iowa. If you weren't with us earlier, we had to be on for a little while because we had a very serious tornado, a deadly tornado, it seems, impact a Greenfield, Iowa community and went right into Wardtown and caused devastation there. My thoughts and prayers go out to everybody involved in that. Just a terrible, terrible signature within the Doppler debris detection algorithm there. So, again, just not what you want to see. But let's real quick here give you a look at the local view. Not really much on radar. A few scattered sprinkles in the Atlantic. But temperatures here, upper 60s, lower 70s. Nothing too crazy here going on at this point. It looks pretty dry as we look ahead across our region for the next 7 days. But we're staying in alert mode because the pattern across the center of the country is still going to remain active and could have more waves here per se of severe weather activity, tornado threats, a possibility, maybe even higher as we're looking there once again toward the weekend. There are going to be some threats here coming up in the days to come, but maybe toward the weekend is when we start to kind of get back to a more extreme type of threat potentially. Again, it's kind of far out there, as we always say in these situations, but Saturday and Sunday is when there's already a pretty big outlook there in terms of just the overall risk level this far out. It's already out for, like, on Saturday, Dallas, Little Rock there. And then on Sunday, you have Memphis, Nashville, Louisville, Little Rock, and Cape Girardeau, and getting close toward the St. Louis metro. So going to be kind of a nasty weather pattern as we look ahead in toward the timeline here. I'm just going to have to give you the very latest to protect you, your friends, your family, on all of that. But again, just keep it tuned here on Cloud Weather when we have these dangerous situations like we had toward that community that was hit so hard there at Greenfield, Iowa. You can see Facebook, Casey Cloud, WX, Clouds Weather, Twitter /X at Cloud Casey, YouTube at Clouds Weather, Twitch Cloud Weather, and cloud.com. So just very important platforms there. And then we're just going to go ahead and kind of review. I mean, the debris kind of told the story here. I mean, it has to be officially confirmed by the Weather Service there in Des Moines in terms of the rating. But we'll go ahead and switch over to the graphics. It was at least an EF3, clearly based on damage video and the debris signature. I'd be surprised if it wasn't at least an EF4, to be quite honest. So just a devastating situation for those folks there in that area, Adair County, a situation, a storm set up. That community, about 2,000 folks there in Adair County, is never gonna forget. So let's go ahead and see though right now. Look at that rainfall forecast next 7 days. Toward parts of, it looks like eastern Arkansas and West Tennessee, northern Mississippi could have about a half foot of rain on average. So around Memphis there, and then over even toward Little Rock, you see a good bit of rain. So just as we're looking at things, just remember to monitor, don't drown there when you have these flash flooding situations. Just turn around, don't drown. You have clutter.com/radar for interactive look at things when we're not on the air. You can see toward our area, North Florida, not much rain here. So that's pretty good news toward the Memorial Day weekend here. As we honor those veterans who gave the ultimate sacrifice. You can see South Georgia there, a little bit more precip, but not by much there toward areas like Albany and over toward Waycross and the like. So as we go ahead though and see our coverage area, just reiterating, we're always on for any tornado warning storm moving through our 62 counties. Been on for all of them since late 2019. And then as we see our fog safety tips graphic now, could have a little bit of that as we look ahead here later on in the night. That could become an issue here. I know Weather Service is kind of mentioning that here as we look further over. We've been already seeing that on the Palaca sensor right now some reduced visibility. And I'm looking at some things behind the scenes. So just go ahead and slow down and give yourself extra time to reach your destination. Make sure your vehicle is as visible as possible to other vehicles by using your low beam headlights, and leave plenty of room between you and the vehicle in front of you. So just important things to keep in mind there. As we go ahead and see that extended forecast now, you see Wednesday there, not too big of a chance of rain. That continues through the rest of the week. And the weekend, 20% Saturday, 10% Monday. Memorial Day is at 20% and 30%. You can see on that Tuesday. So I know those high temperatures are a little above average. So just try to stay cool out there with these warm and hot conditions. As you can see, the low temperature warming up there as well. So that's something to keep in mind as we're looking at things here, as we're tracking them. I know, let's go back on over to the Doppler right now toward parts of eastern Wisconsin. You see it's a thunderstorm warning there in the vicinity of Milwaukee. So northern Milwaukee even included. The tornado watch there has remained in effect for a little longer until about it looks like they've done a local extension. Let me check my other source. I know 1 a.m. at Central Time on that Wednesday, but thunderstorm warning. And then the tornado watch has been extended, it looks like, until about 7Z. So instead of the time that's out on our system here, that's going to get us out to about 2 a.m. Central Time. And then as we get toward Arkansas, we have a severe thunderstorm warning east and south of Little Rock right now. Looking like the potential there is for some 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. I've been watching some weak rotation with this here, and we'll kind of look at rotation tracker. I know a tornado watch still in effect for some of these areas. Even further north, we'll see if anything really gets going that far north, but that watch goes until about, it looks like, 8Z, which is going to get us till about 3 a.m. Central Time. So again, that's kind of storyline right there. Again, staying in alert mode for the national concern, not for anything locally, so that's good news. I know, nothing like what we saw around Tallahassee going back a couple weeks on the horizon as of now. I know, never going to forget what happened in Houston there last Thursday. What a terrible event for those folks. As I'm looking at the Heartland, we were watching a warning around there, but nothing right now. You saw some hail reports earlier on, but we're never going to forget what happened on Houston. We're never, as we look there, you know, at things, that storm set up there in Iowa, I know, in America's heartland, per se. They were so badly impacted today as we get towards some of these different areas. I mean, really about Greenfield. You see Greenfield there, southwest of Des Moines. I'll go ahead and measure that for you as you see temperatures for those without power in the 50s there. About 40 miles southwest of Des Moines is Greenfield. And then as I zoom back out, Houston, I know a lot of folks are without power there, and the temperatures are a lot more dangerous, still very hot per se at this time of night around Houston. As I put the heat index on, even, I mean, it still feels like about 90 degrees here, you know, after midnight per se Central Time. So just gotta be keeping that in mind as we're looking at things, as we're tracking the scenario toward that area. Just kind of giving you an update there. As we say, our current temperatures locally again. About to wrap things up for tonight, but just thanks so much for tuning in and trusting me. Always trying to stay on top of things here in the Weather Center. So I know hurricane season approaching there on June 1st. We'll have our annual hurricane special here coming up in the days ahead. So just kind of stay tuned for that. But for now, meteorologist Casey Cloud here in the Weather Center. I hope you have a great night out there. Again, thoughts and prayers to that community in Iowa, Greenfield, Iowa. About 2,000 people there had fatalities. A tragic scenario. Still working to get more information, but the images, the visuals coming out of that area are devastating. National Weather Service in Des Moines will have to kind of determine how significant that tornado was on the EF scale, the enhanced tornado wind scale per se. That measures tornado damage, but that'll be determined as we look ahead and toward the timeline. For now, have a great night.